Good morning, everyone. If you could start making your way to your seats, we'll begin shortly.
It's been at the Hilton for, this is our 7th. It was at the Sheraton for 26, and then it started at the Hyatt.
Good morning, everyone. So before I begin, I'd like to take a couple polls from the audience. First, raise your hand if you have a Navy or Marine Corps background, please. All right, just trying to judge the audience. Okay, so the first poll, as everyone knows, in our country, it's a divisive time, a lot of rhetoric. Folks are choosing sides. So with that being said, who in the audience is ready to celebrate in 25 days as the Army beats Navy for the third straight time? All right, the second poll is going to be, raise your hand if you're from the DC area. You're only going to get half a mahalo for bringing the weather with you. So halfway aloha, halfway mahalo. Okay, so speaking of the weather, I did speak with our J2 Intel folks, and they've told me that if they can hear a loud and thunderous aloha back to Pearl Harbor, that there's a possibility that the sun will break through the clouds, that we'll have a warm day, the beaches, the waters will be blue, and everybody gets to enjoy it once we wrap up today. So on 3, a loud and thunderous aloha. 1, 2, 3. There might be some rain later on today, so that wasn't as expected. So good morning, everyone. I am Major Ramon Ruiz from the United States Indo-Pacific Command at Camp Smith, Hawaii. It is my pleasure to be your MC for this morning's opening ceremony. Just a few admin notes before we begin. If you haven't done so, please download the AFCEA 365 app, available in the Google Play or Apple App stores to get the latest updates for conference events. This morning's first discussion panel is titled DoD's Digital Modernization, How Industry is Responding at 0930 a.m. in the South Pacific Ballroom. Please visit the STEM Innovation Center located in the South Pacific Ballroom 1, where high school robotic and cyber patriot teams will demonstrate award-winning programs. Additionally, as a courtesy to our opening ceremony guests and our fellow professionals, we request that you silence all personnel communications devices. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remain standing for the posting of the colors presented by the Dissipat Color Guard and playing of the National Anthem.
National Anthem.
Please be seated. On behalf of AFCEA International and AFCEA Hawaii, aloha and welcome to the 34th AFCEA Hawaii TechNet Indo-Pacific Conference. This morning's networking breakfast is sponsored by Fortinet Federal, represented by Bob Fortinet, CEO. At this time, I would like to welcome up to the stage Mr. Jeff Bloom, AFCEA Hawaii Chapter President.
Good morning, everybody. Aloha kako, and welcome to Hawaii, or should I say sunny Hawaii. It will be sunny, trust me. It's never long with rain like this and cloudy, it will clear up, so just hang in there. Again, as I said, my name is Jeff Bloom. I am the president of AFCEA Hawaii, and it's my privilege to serve and host you this morning. AFCEA Hawaii and AFCEA International would like to welcome you to our 34th annual TechNet Indo-Pacific Conference and Expo. This year's theme is enabling a more effective combined force through digital modernization. Our keynote addresses and panel sessions will present varied points of view on how this theme will become reality. TechNet Indo-Pacific offers many sessions which qualify for continuing education units. We also have a leadership forum where we bring together a small group of emerging leaders to learn from our senior leadership in an intimate setting. We have a STEM innovation room featuring students from schools across the state showcasing their STEM projects, and we'd ask you to please stop by and visit with our future leaders. It's really important for us to support our young people, especially when we do live in the most remote island chain in the world. Hard if we don't grow our own here. For the first time, we will also be hosting the Coalition Interoperability Forum in conjunction with TechNet Indo-Pacific. The forum's goal is to bring together U.S. and mission partner stakeholder community, including industry, academia, military, and government, to discuss major challenges and accelerate efforts to achieve effective and efficient coalition interoperability. This is the second forum in a semi-annual series. We'd also like to thank our keynote and plenary speakers, panel moderators and panelists, instructors, and the many volunteers without whom this conference would not be available or possible. I know General Shea will thank the sponsors and exhibitors, but I would also like to add AFCEA Hawaii's thanks, specifically to those patrons who support our local activities and come back year after year. Again, it's not easy to convince your boss or whoever's holding the purse strings that you're going to Hawaii for a conference. Everybody thinks you're just going somewhere to go to the beach. So we appreciate that and making the effort, and it's not an easy place to get to. One other thing that what I'd like to say is the revenue that we generate during TechNet provides funding that allows AFCEA Hawaii to give back to the community in the form of student scholarships, teacher science and technology grants, awards, and many other technology programs that we perform across the state. The AFCEA Hawaii Education Foundation, which is part of AFCEA Hawaii, is a 501c3 organization and is committed to carry on and expand the many educational programs that AFCEA Hawaii and TechNet Indo-Pacific have supported. Over the past 33 years, AFCEA Hawaii has donated more than $2 million in scholarships, tools, grants, and awards, and from the looks of this conference, that number will continue to grow. So I want to say thank you again. That's really important for us in our community. For those of you that are AFCEA members, we want to thank you for your continued support and dedication and invite you to visit the members room where you can get some refreshments, network with your peers, and relax a little bit. For those of you that are not AFCEA members, we ask that you consider joining, not only to enjoy the membership benefits that come with belonging to a professional organization, but also to become part of a worldwide community that has led the ethical exchange of information for nearly 70 years in our C4 arena. So with that, I'd like to say mahalo nui loa and thank you very much.
Now I would like to welcome up to the stage Lieutenant General Retired Robert Shea, United States Marine Corps, President and CEO of AFCEA International.
Thank you, Major Ruiz, and thank you, Jeff. Good morning and aloha. My name is Bob Shea. As was mentioned, I'm the President and CEO of AFCEA International, and on behalf of AFCEA, I'd like to also welcome and thank you all for coming here to this very important conference. It's the 34th in a series of conferences that's been going on for a long, long time. We were talking just the other night about, I came out here, I was director of C4I for the Marine Corps. I remember coming out here after 9/11, and the place was pretty much a ghost city after that, as you can imagine, because of everybody's concern. And you can see it's grown to be an overflowing crowd here. And this particular theater is one that's near and dear to my heart. Over 40% of my career has been spent out here in the Pacific Command, or Indo-Pacific Command now. But I really want to thank everybody for taking the time to come. And I particularly like to thank all the previous J6s who've come out. It's amazing when you look around. There are not many that have been missing since the mid-1990s that are here today, to including General Skinner, who is the new J6, and Admiral Norton, who is a former J6 and ADISA commander. So thank you all very much for coming out today. So we're pleased to partner with the Hawaii AFCEA chapter, and it's a great chapter to put on this important event. As may have been mentioned before, it's the largest event of its type around the Pacific Rim. And you'll notice that the name of TechNet has changed this year from TechNet Asia-Pacific to TechNet Indo-Pacific, reflecting the DoD's increased emphasis on this part of the world and in this theater, as well as the name change of the former Pacific Command to Indo-Pacific Command. I don't think I have to tell this audience, but for those of you who don't get or pay a lot of attention to the Indo-Pacific area, this is a terribly, terribly important theater from a national security perspective, not just for the United States, but for our partners and for the freedom and the peace that have been brought to this part of the world over the last several decades. And it's all because of the presence of the United States and our partner countries out here trying to keep the peace. And that peace has the potential, and in many ways is being threatened at this point in time. So this conference is relevant, and it will increase in relevance as the years go on. In line with the emphasis, as Jeff mentioned, we're honored to host the Coalition Interoperability Forum as part of TechNet this year. The first Coalition Interoperability Forum was held at Fort Shafter in April, and we're delighted to bring the second version of that forum to TechNet. This forum complements the content of the main program. We think we're providing a broad range of capabilities and discussion and topics that need to be brought to the fore to make this command as strong as possible in terms of national security. And we want to thank the MITRE Corporation for their help in this regard and the assistance with this important initiative. I'd also again like to acknowledge the AFCEA Hawaii chapter, and we've got almost 200 volunteers from the chapter are helping us put on this event. Jeff is the chapter president, and the strength in its membership base, and without that strength in its membership base, this event just couldn't possibly happen. So again, thank you all very much for all our friends from the AFCEA Hawaii chapter, and Jeff for your leadership. I'd also like to thank industry for their support of all the AFCEA activities, and for the companies who sponsored it or exhibited here. We can't put an event on like this with the magnitude that it is without your continued support. And as I said, this theater is going to do nothing but gain and increase relevance and importance as we go on. So we look forward to working with you in the future. If you got ideas on how to make this bigger, better, and strengthen the relationships out here, we welcome that with open arms. So don't be afraid to raise any concerns that you may have, or to kind of give us a little bit of vector. We'll listen very carefully to everything that you provide us, and we'll try to act accordingly in that regard. We've got a record number of exhibitors this year. As you probably noticed when you walked into this room, we've got a full lounge of tabletop exhibits right outside the ballroom. This adds the exhibit hall across the street in the Mid-Pacific Conference Center. They're just not a place big enough in Hawaii to do all the things that we need to do, and that's a good thing because of that interest that is coming to this part of the world. And to orient those who have not been here before, on this side of the street, we have the DISA sessions and the Coalition Interoperability Forum and the keynote breakfasts and luncheons. On the other side of Rainbow Drive, we have the panel sessions, the AFCEA Hawaii Continuing Education courses, and the Leadership Forum. All activities focus on multiple aspects of our overall TechNet theme. If you have any questions throughout the week, please stop at the operations office, which is located on the far side of the street, and we'll try to accommodate whatever your concerns are or whatever your questions might be. If you've not been a member of AFCEA, I'd like to echo Jeff's encouragement in asking you to stop by the AFCEA booth in the Nautilus Suite foyer across the street to learn more about the benefits and sign up today. Also, if your company is not yet a corporate member, Shante Russell from our staff will be coming by your booth today to talk to you about, over the next several days, to talk to you about the value of being a corporate member, and we would encourage you to join us. Before I complete, one of the benefits you get from being an AFCEA member is that this magazine right here. This is an award-winning magazine that's published by our editorial staff. Where's Bob Ackerman? Raise your hand back there. Bob has put this edition together, focused on the Indo-Pacific Command. And I encourage you, if you're not a member, this is one of the reasons you need to sign up so you can read what's inside this magazine, because there's some great comments and articles by General Davidson, as well as General Studham, the J2, and a host of other contributors to the magazine that really help you focus on what's going on in this part of the world and the importance of this command and our allies as we take on the challenges going forward in an international security environment. So, mahalo to all of you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for traveling, for those who have traveled a long way, and we wish you the very best, and we hope you have a fruitful week. And again, don't be afraid to provide us comments and feedback so we can just make this thing stronger as we go forward. Thank you all very much, and mahalo.
Would Lieutenant Colonel retired Ed Riglewitz, United States Air Force, AFCEA Hawaii, please come to the stage?
Aloha, everyone. I'm Ed Riglewitz. I'm the Regional Vice President for AFCEA International, the Pacific region, and a member 35 years of the Hawaii chapter, so I'd like to welcome each and every one of you. I have the pleasure of introducing two gentlemen this morning, both AFCEA supporters. First, I'd like to introduce from the state of Hawaii, Mr. Douglas Murdoch, who has a proclamation from the governor that he'd like to present to us. Doug?
Good morning and aloha. I'm Doug Murdoch. I'm the CIO for the state of Hawaii. It's really great to see such a big crowd of government and military members here for this conference. It's wonderful. I want to thank all the military people for protecting us and all the contractors for helping give them the tools that they need to move forward. In the state of Hawaii, we are constantly under attack from cyber bad guys. We probably have, I know we have 53,000 hits a second that come onto our network trying to find a way in from unauthorized users. So all the innovation that you drive is helping us move forward. I want to do the proclamation, but I'm going to save you from all the whereases, so I'll go to the bottom line. David Ige, Governor of the State of Hawaii, and Josh Green, Lieutenant Governor of the State of Hawaii, do hereby proclaim November 19th through November 21st, 2019 as TechNet Indo-Pacific Conference and Exposition Days in the State of Hawaii, and thank AFCEA members and AFCEA Hawaii for their outstanding contributions toward military preparedness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doug. And we also have a proclamation from the City and County of Honolulu, and he's been a longtime friend of Hawaii chapter, Mr. Ed Hawkins. Ed?
Well, good morning and aloha, everyone. And Bob, Jeff, and Ed, thank you so much for allowing me to come here and join this event for now several years. I'm here to present a proclamation on behalf of Mayor Kirk Caldwell, the Mayor of City and County of Honolulu. But before I do that, let me just, if I could, just share a personal story about communications electronic professionals and what they do and how they do to support the warfighters in moving information and using information. You know, today, even on the news, you know, everything is real time, and you can see battles going on. Commanders are able to get information from the battlefields, cameras on helmets, persistent intelligence. As an intelligence professional, I wish I had that in my day. But there was a time when that wasn't the case, you know, and we looked mostly through soda straws, if you will, and that's the kind of capability that we had. So in my time during the Gulf War, when I served, we had to push the envelope at that time to move information. And there was a time when you couldn't even talk about national technical means without being arrested. Now you can. Everybody pretty much knows where it comes from. You couldn't even say words like masoned, you know. During my time there, one of my proudest things was trying to use the technical means that we had and the communications network and the ability that was provided by communications electronic professionals to get the information to the people. You know, there was a time when aviators even couldn't even look at or even hear about anything more than collateral, believe it or not. You know, the kinds of information that we're using. And after one of the missions, and as the director of intelligence, I was with the crew in the debriefing room. You know, we pushed the envelope then to get the information in real-time battle assessment, and we're able to do that for that mission. And again, one of my proudest moments is when those aviators stood up in unison and cheered at what they saw. They weren't cheering really, you know, about me or my people, but their accomplishments, you know, what they did, and the visible thing that they saw, the results of all the hard work and the sacrifice that they did. So I kept that in mind, and I hope that then we pushed the envelope to get the information to the people who needed it, and I know that you're doing it today because those are the people that we really need to support. Sure, our leadership needs that information, but we always keep in mind that the people who do that hard work really need that information as well. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. With that, let me move to the proclamation. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to go through all the whereas, but I'll just note that the mayor and the governor of each state has the privilege of naming a day or dates on behalf of people or organizations. And these dates that are listed, same with the Governor Ige, cannot be used by anybody else. So these dates belong to you now, okay? So the proclamation, recognizing everything that you did, and I'll add again about all the great work that you do for the community and the scholarships and supporting the students. So now, therefore, I, Kurt Caldwell, Mayor of the City and County of Honolulu, do hereby proclaim November 19 to 21st, 2019, to be TechNet Indo-Pacific Conference and Exposition Days in recognition and appreciation for AFCEA International and AFCEA Hawaii for the outstanding contribution toward military preparedness, signed Kurt Caldwell, Mayor. And I'd like to present it to Ed.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call up a couple individuals that will be part of this next ceremony. Ms. Donna Russell, she was our founding member, one of our founding members of AFCEA TechNet back at Hickam Air Force Base in one of the World War II hangars. And Donna's been a longtime member and tremendous supporter of our chapter in international. And also Mr. Corey Lindo, our board of directors, president of our board of directors. At this time in Hawaii, for those of you who haven't been here, we have a beautiful ceremony, a Hawaiian ceremony that we'd like to share with you, and it will be a Hawaiian blessing for this event this week, and also the blowing of the conch shell, and it's very very special and very symbolic. So please stay in your place and listen to the chant and to listen to the event that's coming up.
Just out of curiosity, how many of you out there for your very first time to the AFCEA event? Can you please show of hands? Okay, so you brought the rain this morning. A very blessed time in Hawaii when it does rain. It's a blessing to us. So therefore you are too also a blessing to our event. Welcome. I stand here to give the pule, but before I do, I'd like for everyone here to know that I do this with much sincerity and gratefulness. My grandfather was World War I, my father, Lieutenant Colonel, World War II, in the Korean War, and my husband there in Iraq, a retired major, and my two daughters, graduates of the NIMI, second lieutenants. My baby just got promoted to first lieutenant a couple weeks ago, and my eldest is here, who has blown for me, my eldest. And there are actually three of us because she is with child today. Yeah. And so we say mo'opuna for a grandchild in Hawaii, and so it's my mo'opuna's first gig with her grandmother here. So I'm very proud of that. Having also the opportunity myself to have gone in country and entertained for our troops back then in 2005, and being awarded a, one of those things when what's that medal when you go in combat, like they're shooting at you while you're performing? I don't know, it was some award, but I was like, I didn't know any better. We was just going where they told us to go, so I'm still alive. Anyway, for that, and please don't cry because we've had enough rain, but all my family and all of them, we're Army. Go Army. Yes, the Lord has made all of us all perfect, but some of us a little more than others, yeah. No, not so. With love to each and every one of you here, it is my great honor. And so then please, if we could please bow our heads and close our eyes. Ikiako manaloa, Father of our crucified and risen Lord, thou whom art the maker of our souls and the lover of our hearts. We humbly come before thee on this glorious Hawaiian morning, having woken to thy thunderous voice from above and abundant and life-giving rains, to give thee thanks and praise for thy creation of all the heavens and the earth, to be able to just wake up with peace and gratitude for our founding fathers and the generations thereafter who have sacrificed for all that is aloha, that we, the citizens, may continue to reap in the blessings and bounty of your liberty and justice for all. We humbly also thank you for granting us the strength and fortitude in this season toward fulfilling the purpose and promise that thou hast for each and every one of us here at this, the 2019 AFCEA Convention, that we might better continue to serve and protect our great country. We ask a special blessing over all of those who have endured the many hours of planning and preparation, the sponsors and affiliates, as well as the participants who collaboratively are here today to extend the technological insights toward an advanced nation built upon thy statutes. O God, in thee we trust. Ano leila e no kapule e hapaya e mea oe me ka mahalo, ai ka inoa ka makua, a me ke keiki, a me ka uhane he malele. Amen.
Mahalo, sisters. These ladies flew in from the Big Island this morning to do the presentation, so they came a little ways to join us, so thank you so much. Mahalo. And now I'd ask these guests to please come up to our Maili lei to untie this. The Maili leis are very ceremonial in Hawaii, and they're used for special occasions and for very important people. So we ask them to untie the lei and to start our conference. Very good. Thank you very much. And at this time, we'll declare that the 34th Indo-PACOM TechNet Asia-Pacific will be in session now. And thank you all for attending, and please move over to the other side. Aloha to each one of you.